detention, torture and human rights violation will end and that they will not be tolerated. The President assured the HRW officials that government will act accordingly on proven torture and human rights abuse cases. He also assured them that he will use the report and verify its findings as a case study to strengthen human rights recognition in the country.
In Tungamo district, the President assured the delegation that cases of illegal detention, torture and human rights violation will end and they will not be tolerated. He, however, cautioned the delegation that no one can teach him about the subject of human rights because it was one of the Bush factors that compelled him to fight the previous dictatorial regimes. The President assured the Human Rights Watch officials that government will act accordingly on proven torture and human rights abuse cases. He also assured them that he will use the report and verify its findings as a case study to strengthen human rights recognition in the country. He explained to the officials that the government will also battle unnecessary acts by security institutions like the police force on beating, illegally detaining and interrogating people. Museveni, however, applauded Human Rights Watch. The Human Rights Watch chief, who has led the global organization for nearly 3 decades, has transformed the organization from a small regional one to an international human rights organization with global influence. In attendance at the meeting was Ms. Manson Segun, the Human Rights Watch Executive Director for Africa, Ms. Kabin Kaneza, the Advocacy Chairperson of Uganda Human Rights Commission, and Ms. Mariam Wangadia.
In other news, Uganda People's Defence Forces has started screening eligible medical personnel for the ongoing national recruitment exercise to serve as medics and health workers in the army. The exercise conducted at Kololo Airstrip, UPDF emphasized only those with recognized educational documents will be fit to join the army medical team.
It is always such a hard experience for people to move long distances looking for jobs, and worse still when they fail to get one, despite the great efforts. UPDF has now taken a move to bridge the unemployment gap among the medical fraternity by considering a screening exercise for those medics who wish to be recruited in the army. The exercise was meant for diploma holders and above.
We are more interested nurses who have specialist skills, nurses specialists in critical care, nurses specialists in urology, oncology, intensive care unit skills, dialysis, and we were more interested in doctors who have done specialists in surgery, in a pediatrician.
Thursday morning, aspirants thronged the Kololo ceremonial grounds to try their luck. Survival for the fittest was basic as they went through trainings, exercises, and yoga to test their body abilities.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Some looked tired and worn out after several hours exercising. Among those recruited are nurses, midwives, surgeons, to mention but a few. It was indeed no pain, no gain, as they sat under the scorching sun with no any other choice left for them if they really badly needed the opportunity. Many were left out as they didn't have education documents and credentials, as the rest were not within the eligible age brackets, as Lieutenant Colonel Grace Baguma, the Director of Nursing Services in the UPDF Army, asserts.
So you have seen being screened before road running, those who have scars, those who have physical disabilities, those who have previous cesarean sections if you're a woman, and other men who have different abnormalities are screened out. If you are 30 years and above, we feel you will not be fit for battle fitness exercise. Your age limits you to go through the rigorous training of military training. We don't want to depreciate Ugandans.
Baguma also enlightens more about the criteria the candidates should follow, however warns them on fraudulency, especially with academic documents.
Considering education from a diploma, a degree, master's in that specific specialty of your undergraduation, or a diploma with an added advantage of specialty skills. You are aware that we are building a massive hospital at Mbuya and other health facilities.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC News.
Now, in other state activities for the day, Vice President Major Jessica Lupo has appealed to all leaders to embrace the parish development model to lighten the poverty burden and increase household incomes. Now, this was contained in a speech read for her by the Security Minister, Major General Jim Mwezi, who represented her during the launch of the parish development model program in Rukunjiri district.
Day 5 of the several local leaders from 11 sub-counties and town councils gathered in Rukunjiri municipality for the launch of the parish development model program during an event officiated over by Security Minister, retired Major General Jim Mwezi.
It's now my honor and pleasure to launch the parish development model in Rukunjiri district. Thank you very much.
Jim Mwezi represented the Vice President of Uganda, retired Major Jessica Lupo.
Was scheduled to be here to launch our parish development model, but due to urgent other state duties, she was unable to come.
Area leaders raised some concerns about the implementation of the program, especially including corruption as possible setbacks of the project.
How sure are you going to find out that this money has been used effectively?
The biggest enemy of this government is the Uganda Police Force and the judiciary. Abokuba umushuma we araza kwatwa ahabokuba ariho n'ecyayibire kigizire kiriho konkaho amutware niho hatariho
wahora ngo umupolisi arikorana nakaboko yarembuzi mutumanisi tura tugifighting hamwe aboko tukaba turuvaramu kandi nimwe murinkai nimwe muri yagura ndahimuri then abokushaba sente kurekora abantu icyo tucurwanisa.
The district chairperson, Gerardis, and his deputy, area members of parliament, among others, attended the event.
Members, let's own it. Let's own this project. Nitumanguneza kugira musamu issues, but let's not campaign it there. Whether it has issues, mazima munjirize beyitu twena.
All the programs that have been coming, including the Myoga, have been sidelining the members of parliament. We used to come and find everything on ground, but this time we have received training from parliament and in our different committees. So I would like to thank the government for taking the initiative and the Secretariat, PDM, for training us and giving us the knowledge.
Our chief guest, I'm happy to report to you that Rukunjiri district is performing well in parish development model. To date, a total of 75 circles at parish level have been formed and already in operation.
Rukunjiri district comprises of 2 counties, 11 sub-counties, over 70 parishes and 331 villages at a population of over 342 residents.
I would like to thank all the participants, the teachers, the trainers, who have ably imparted knowledge to you in order to understand fully this important project.
With a moderate and favorable all-round climate, the district aims at championing agriculture. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
A sad one coming through for the day. Fire has gutted a boys' dormitory at public secondary school Mabale in Chetera B, Cell Mabale Town Council, that is in Kagadi district, leaving 400 students stranded. The head teacher of the school, Pascal Muntu Kwonka, says the fire originated from inside the dormitory at around 8:30 p.m. and suspected to have been set by a student who was found inside the dormitory.
Over 400 students in Kagadi district are stranded after their school was burnt down during a late evening suspected arson. The head teacher of the school, Pascal Muntu Kwonka, now wants who wishes to intervene.
We also have the candidate class, and we need to attend to them. They are nearing mock exams. They really need to be helped. So whoever can have a lending hand should really help these candidates.
Kagadi District Police Commander Moses Chichoncho Muzema said preliminary investigations indicate that fire was allegedly set by one of the senior students, identified as Geoffrey Biamukama. Chichoncho Muzema says the suspect is currently on the run and that police is still investigating the cause of such heinous act.
They should ensure that if at all fire begins like this, if they had fire extinguishers here, probably the cost would have not been too much.
The director of the school, Bagonza Yona, says the dormitory was accommodating over 120 students, mainly senior for candidates.
So as a board, we are trying to make sure that we appeal to people of good heart and the parents if they can, so that we are in a position to push on the term. As we see, we try to get in touch with the NGOs and the government if possible.
The chairperson, Board of Governors of the school, Deo Gafausakarali, asked charitable organizations to render financial assistance to the school.
The board is not financially strong enough to replace all the property. And our appeal is to the community, NGOs and the government to come in to our rescue to help these children get what these necessities. As we also try here and there to replace some of these others.
This has come at the time when students are preparing for mock and their final UNEP examinations.
My old books were burnt by fire, and really I don't have what to revise. Yet we're going to face challenges.
Now to our main story and update for the day, was saying the head of state, President Yoweri Museveni, who was interfaced with the chief executive officers of various private sector institutions as they celebrated their second annual meeting 2022 at Ntungamo. Now, the second biannual private sector CEO forum has been organized under the theme Positioning the Private Sector for New Markets and Business Opportunities for Sustainability and Thriving Economies in the Region and the African Continent. During the CEO forum, the president cited the 3 C's from which he named, that was copper, cotton and coffee, plus the 3 T's, namely tobacco, tea and tourism, that has steadily grown over the years.
The forum here today will focus on 4 sub-themes. One is new market opportunities. The second is the oil and gas subsectors. And the third is private equity, to speak to capital availability. And then the other one is the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which today we might not talk about. But we'll talk about those 3 because we do have the people to present from them. When we last met as the PCF board, we tasked ourselves to undertake several key actions. Among them was developing a roadmap for positioning Uganda into markets like the DRC and South Sudan. The second, as a board that we came about, was to build a case for engaging private equity to facilitate the growth of the private sector in Uganda. And the third was engaging other players in the agriculture sector under the theme promoting value addition and enhancing domestic capacity production.
We are thinking, we said, what can you do for Casita. Your Excellency, we made a survey and we talked to companies, a number of companies that manufacture. About 60% will go ahead to trade across borders. And also, if you recommend Casita to become manufacturers, only 10% of Casita members are able to do that. And we have a game changer. We are proposing, why don't we turn Casita traders into traders of Ugandan goods across the borders? Your Excellency, if you do prioritize that, it will be the game changer.
First, I will start with the issue of the export guarantee scheme to those risky markets. This has two components. There is a component of the framework, the policy framework, which does not require money. And already we have set up our team to work with our colleagues in the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, because this is a shared mandate, to come up with a framework quickly. And I gave them a timeline of 2 months to ensure that we finalize this by August, and then see whether that framework will have budgetary implications, because the communication came when the budget had already been approved for next year. And we have said, with the exception of things of this nature, Honorable Minister, we agreed 2 issues now: industrial policy and security. They are the only issues we are going to allow in the budget through the supplementary window of the 3%, those which are unforeseen. But those which can wait for the medium term, we are going to address them in the forthcoming budget of 2023-24, which we start in September. And some of these will be having the first call on the budget. Coca-Cola has also agreed to invest, that they will invest on their side to address them. And therefore, they have agreed to start taking on this industrial sugar. And they have requested only for a window of between 6 months to 1 year for them to offload their futures, which they had already bought. And after that, we can now go 100%, and they will be able to buy the industrial sugar from our local producers. So you can see that the issue of protecting the market goes both sides. The side of the market you want to capture as a manufacturer, but also yourself as a manufacturer, to work on the quality, quantity, and price.
Somewhere they are aware that CAPEC and MM are pilot projects. But there are these industries you call, these ones you call abatembuzi? Abashambuzi. Yes. Those ones that started our economy are still crumbling, and some of them are failing to make ends meet. So the 5%, the 5 US cents is only benefiting a few, and after all, we have also given them infrastructure development. But these ones started when they are wrong. They have not yet benefited, like you are aware. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for gracing this occasion. The private sector forum that brings together all leading CEOs in the country is a very, very good forum. And if we utilize this, the sky will be the limit.
First point of intervention I want to be involved in is taxing imports. I totally agree. If you have got import products here, locally made, we should tax the ones from China and from India. What is the problem, Ramadan? You write it down and come and answer why you allow the Chinese to flood our market and the Indians with subsidized products, and you do nothing and you just spectate. Ogumsango. Bagwanjude mu mbuga y'amateeka Uganda umusango bagulese. Development model. We are saying that no, you 39% people, stop cheating us of Congora. Congo is when people are digging in the garden for you are just standing on the sideline, just watching and conversing with passers-by. So you all must be involved in the money economy. So what the Prime Minister is telling you that, echiri munsiko, bochiri watuka, elseri kankana, omwana liita nyina. Chance. So you come, this market of Congo, it's a big one because they get money from minerals and they get money from other things, but their agriculture is not developed. And by the way, that division of labor between us and Congo is not new, because much of Congo was a forest. Here East Africa, here Uganda, East Africa is forest, yes, but also grassland. Now the food was always grown in the grasslands.
Great deliberations right there from the head of state, and of course during that second annual forum. And let's embrace the parish development model as steadily pick up onto the money economy. Now, in other details for the day, the NRM Electoral Commission has finalized the exercise for the expression of interest for the East African Legislative Assembly MP seats, with over 100 aspirants showing interest that will see only 4 people fronted by the NRM for the 6 slots.
NRM Party Electoral has concluded the registration of members interested in contesting for the position of the East African Legislation Assembly MP membership. Over 100 members have expressed interest. Most notables include Paul Musamali, Namara Dennis, and Epaudan Emmanuel. However, top on the agenda of aspirants who spoke to UBC shortly after the closure of the exercise is to a leveled playing field for the East African Common Market.
And we're ensuring that we expand the market so the East Africans can be able to benefit from that big, huge market. Number 2,
for us as Uganda, we need cadres who are going to serve, to represent us as members of IALA.
The fact that NRM has given us a chance to come and contest within our party, I'm ready and I have come to pick those forms, and my wish is to go and represent.
Incumbent IALA MPs say they have passed a number of legislations in their 5-year term. However, unfinished business for the outgoing incumbents failed to deliver on the issue of having a single common market currency and a political federation.
The issue of refugees. We cannot continue talking about issues of refugees when there is insecurity in our East African community.
Look at myself as a Ugandan. I view myself as an East African, as an African, who should extend the ideas of our forefathers or our foreleaders.
The chairperson NRM Electoral Commission, Dr. Tango Doi, said the registration exercise has been smooth and the names of the contestants are to be forwarded to the Central Executive Committee of the NRM party for consideration.
Business, we have received 115 aspirants. 115 aspirants vying for the 6 slots that the party has.
The registration exercise has been on for the last 3 days. Sudat Kaye, Joseph Muyingo, UBC News.
The Executive Director, KCCA, that is Kampala Capital City Authority, Dorothy Chisaka, has received the U.S. Ambassador to Uganda, Miss Natalie Brown, as she rallies communities to support children's reading culture. Evidence shows that when children acquire reading skills early in the primary school level, their chances of succeeding over their lifespan improves, and this helps in the long-term academic performance, which in turn contributes to national development. Now, USAID and the government are jointly running a 5-year program, Integrated Child and Youth Development, to strengthen government systems and improve the government's ability to deliver basic education and services to children and the youth.
I'd like to urge our learners as we celebrate today to spare 30 minutes on the 1st July 2022 to read, to drop everything and read for 30 minutes what they want to read and share what they have read. Through the Dear Day, our pupils learn basic skills in reading and numeracy and generally addresses our poor reading culture.
As you heard, on Friday, July 1st, at 11 o'clock in the morning, people across Uganda will drop everything and read wherever they are, be it in workplaces, in classrooms, in libraries, at home, and even at the U.S. Embassy here in Kampala. They will read from books, newspapers, and journals, and a fun-filled exercise that will unite people from all walks of life, and this is just such an amazing and wonderful initiative. Drop Everything and Read Day, or Dear Day for short, is a celebration of community. It's a celebration of reading. It's a celebration of our thirst for knowledge and learning. And it's a celebration of the power of the written word to transport us to other worlds without ever leaving our homes, to help us forge connections with people we have never met, and to open our eyes to the wonders of the world around us.
Call upon all city dwellers to drop everything and read. This year's theme is Imagine Reading as a Way of Life, and it resonates with the need to improve the quality of life, the need for knowledge and information so that we can collectively improve ourselves.
For all of these reasons and more, the United States Mission in Uganda is happy to join Ugandans around the country to celebrate the 8th year of Dear Day under the theme of Imagine Reading as a Way of Life. Since Uganda's independence nearly 60 years ago, the United States and the American people have invested in strengthening Uganda's education system and improving education outcomes for Ugandan youth. Why do we do this? Because the United States strongly believes that Uganda's greatest resource is its people, and by investing in them, especially the children and the youth, we are helping to promote a healthier and more prosperous future.
Now, in other updates, East African community climate change experts have resolved to downsize and simplify their expressions relating to mitigation of the climate for effective communication. This was after they established that the region has experts to help drive the climate change agenda once appropriate communication tools for research findings and policies are made simple.
Adaptation to Climate Change project of the Lake Victoria Basin Commission has been running for close to 4 years in all the East African community member states, but with minimal impact. Experts drawn from Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, and Rwanda meeting in Kigali, Rwanda, contend that the hurdle lies in the way research findings and policies are presented. Professor James Okot Okumu, a climate change and water catchment management expert, thinks time is now for environmentalists to simplify their language for effective communication.
Every document that they will produce should be translated into local language, because the implementers are the communities. These issues of graphs and complicated scientific diagrams does not help. You have to use common man's language simple, and you need to use a lot of illustrations and photographs so that the message is easily seen. Even
training of government officials, especially policymakers, on transboundary water catchment and climate change adaptation, and increased funding of climate change-related programs were among the recommendations.
Because most of our budgets don't cater for these environmental things, and if they do, it is at a little cost. So I have to go and make sure I budget for this, talk to honorable councillors and the technicals. They go back and start sensitizing people over this.
For now, Tanzania is in the lead as far as implementation of the Adaptation to Climate Change project is concerned, and this is why.
We have managed to draft the master plan, the environmental master plan, and this master plan, it just informs the stakeholders on how we can come together to deal with the issue of environmental challenges.
The Adaptation to Climate Change project aims at reducing vulnerability in the 5 Lake Victoria Basin countries, namely Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania and Uganda, by building climate resilience. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Now taking you to Karamoja, Karamojong's want Nabila Tuku and Moriti resolutions to be polished and revived. The resolutions require livestock thieves to pay double the stolen number of livestock plus 1. The elders also want the traditional laws on killing someone to be applied. In case a woman is killed, a compensation of 120 cows, and in case a man, 60 cows are paid by the criminal.
The Nabila resolutions of 2013 and Moriti resolutions of 2014 were put in place by councillors of elders from South and Northern Karamoja to reduce on cattle thefts in the sub-region. The resolution stated that if a person steals livestock, he has to pay double the stolen number plus 1 for the elders. But it was later outlawed by Sorority High Court in 2019 after a section of leaders complained of the irregularities, like exaggerations of animals stolen. In the peace meeting held at Kautako village in Napak district, attended by members of parliament, resident district commissioners, district region residents, it was agreed that the Nabila Tuk and Moriti resolutions be polished and revised.
If somebody raids, we follow all of us, the next people must come together and we move, and we look for the person who has shot, who has really fired a gunshot. They must be followed because they are
people are talking. For example, they want the cows to be more added, the penalty cows to be more added. Now, for example, here the community is actually proposing that if you stole 1, you pay 5 just to make the community responsible.
Supposing this raider who has raided this animal is poor. That's it of the cows. That we go and raid, we go and pick the cows of the relative. That is unlawful. Even the laws of Uganda does not support it. You cannot pay for the actions of your brother. You cannot pay for the sins of your relative. You must be held squarely as an individual. We cannot make innocent parties, the innocent relatives, to suffer as a result of a stupid raider.
Karimajongs also want traditional laws on killing someone to be used to reduce on the rampant killings.
The traditional system here requires you to be punished. If you kill a woman, you pay 120 cows. If you kill a man, you pay 60 cows. If you kill a man who is rich, you pay 65 cows.
However, some leaders say the resolutions need to be polished if they are to work.
Now, that is not recognized in our laws as a country. So it has come out clear here that the gaps in punishing, in a modality for punishing criminals, is responsible for the insecurity we are having now. So it's up to us, the members of parliament, the Karamoja parliamentary group. We will take it up with parliament so that a legal instrument is raised by parliament.
So and validity. Nabila Tuk resolution is illegal and unconstitutional. Moriti resolution is illegal and unconstitutional and not again reinstate the illegality that was declared null and void by the High Court to become legal and binding. No.
Locals agreed to have a joint grazing area and avoid calling people by clans, but address each other as Karimajongs, as it will promote unity in the area.
Agreed in yesterday's meeting in Moritit, and in this meeting what has come out clearly is joint grazing, sharing grazing areas, common grazing areas, to prove that we have embraced peace. I think that is good. Another thing that has come out clearly is that people are being encouraged to bring their guns.
Relatedly, the State Minister for Minerals, Peter Lokeris, blamed security for the loss of livestock and cash during a recent market security mop-up.
Sanyuse nnyo essanyu lijula kunzita MTN momo terimba nalindi waka ngenda okuwulira essimu ezze nenga neera bino bya bulijjo ebyekifere kubanga mbeera awo omuntu n'ofuna essimu n'ogenda okuwulira oli atandise empaayo emitwalo 5 kakati kino MTN bwe yankubidde bo tebansabye ku ssente wedda banzikakkanya na bukkakkanya nze nga ntabuse ngamba mu buli baffere nze nandi wano pulesa zaagala kunkuba bukubu nsinneebaka kutulo ate ke mumpadde emmotoka mu byonoonye kati ate awo wiiki ndala MTN yebale nnyo okutufaako fenga abeebulemeezi Luweero balina waaka
ne MTN Momo nyabo tekako buteesa emitwalo 2 oba okusingawo ku MTN Mobile Money yo oyinza okuba na mukisa aneewanguliremu ku Toyota Succeed 3 oba omukuba wangusa 2,000 buli weeki tugenda kugaba emmotoka 24 ne Mobile Money asoba mu buwumbi 2.
The 12th Annual Africa Students Education Fair is back. Come meet representatives of universities, colleges, and schools from USA, Canada, UK, Poland, Ireland, Spain, Germany, Switzerland, Japan, and India on Friday the 1st and Saturday the 2nd of July at the Sheraton Hotel, Kampala, Uganda from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For further inquiries, please contact Maria on 0702-628-446 or email inquiries@asefevents.com or visit www.asefevents.com. Organized by Africa Students Education Fairs Limited and sponsored by Kessie Tours and Travel, WR Education Consultants, and Loyalist College Canada.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602.
Water gives life. Water is life. But not all water is created equal. Refresh yourself with the new quality Nirvana packaged drinking water and fuel you and your passion to go further in life.
Visit a shop near you and grab a 250 ml at 500 shillings, 500 ml at 1,000 shillings, 1.5 liters at 2,000 shillings, or the 20-liter jumbo bottle at 19,000 shillings. Nirvana is a product of Crown Beverages Limited, the makers of Pepsi products.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You see, I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just say to register.
What's going on here?
He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash and now you are on. No waiting.
Huh?
This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money.
Now, that's sufficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Affordable packages, great entertainment,
Sports, the local content, telenovela, the movies.
There is something for everybody. Go TV, this is where great stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With GoTV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Uganda shillings per month. GoTV, great stories, Zidiwano. GoTV Uganda, love it.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebration.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On GoTV. Love it.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello, this is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Congratulations. Oh, one good day.
Good day? But I haven't entered any competition.
Owadechi, since you use your phone every day, we have randomly selected you as one of our loyal customers, and you have won a brand new pickup.
Hey, so how do I get this pickup?
The pickup is in Namave. All we have to do is quickly bring it to you. You know, we are delivering many of them. So, just send us 100k for fuel via mobile money and we'll bring it to you.
But Chief, I'm in no hurry to receive it. Namambe is just here. Keep it at your warehouse, give me directions and I will get time to pick it up.
Vow nawe. If you don't have money, just say.
Tonfera. Never send money to strangers. Winners of competitions are contacted through official channels and are never asked to pay for anything. Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tonfera. Refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by UCC, MTN, Airtel, Bank of Uganda, and NPSP Association.
Welcome back. Good to know you're watching and staying. We're alive. Now, more in our news tonight. Dokolo District residents are concerned about some parishes which are at risk of missing out on the much anticipated parish development model. Now, 2 parishes out of the 71 in Dokolo District do not have their data submitted to benefit from PDM.
The NRM government introduced PDM as a flagship program to eradicate poverty by making the parish an epicenter for service delivery. This is intended to include the common man in the decision-making process. During the official rollout of the program in Dokolo District, hundreds thronged the council hall to listen to the minister. However, a feud ensued in the council hall after the chief administrative officer left out 2 parishes of Barlela and Apenyo all in Bata sub-county. Although the district planner Alfredo Guala explained that the confusion started during the creation of Bara Town Council, in which 2 parishes were not gazetted, leaders are worried about the fate of their people.
So my question is, if Balela
and Apenyo does not get money. Who is getting this money? Where is this money going? Who are the signatories of the SACCO accounts that has been opened? That the government is not concerned about us.
I suspect technical errors made because we cannot be having 69 parishes but ending up with 71 accounts.
Sports Minister Dennis Samson Obua affirmed the government's commitment to ensure PDM succeeds. He says the political will from different political parties is a clear indicator of a successful intervention.
Overall, we are talking about 71 parishes. That means 7.1 billion. So multiply that with the number of years that PDM is earmarked and you fail to tap. And yet the money is at the nearest unit for the parish. So the issue of mindset change.
Obua also rubbished the loose talks that the previous intervention did not yield any fruit.
We found out through UBOS that there was a significant reduction from 68% into 39% who are still in subsistence, but now PDM comes in as a vehicle to propel them, to move them from where they are currently in order for them to join the other Ugandans who are already in money economy.
The only thing now we have to do is to link the PDM system producers with people in the private sector so that the people in the private sector can determine if it is eggs, what type of eggs should be produced.
Meanwhile, Dokolo Woman MP Cecilia Timogwal wants government to consider more affirmative programs for northern Uganda.
In other words, the president had the promise that he would give each homestead 2 oxen and 1 ox plow. But with the hoe, you can only manage an acre or 2. But with the ox plow and oxen, you can move from 1 acre to at least 10 to 15 acres.
Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
That must be taken up with seriousness in northern Uganda.
Now, in other news, our State Minister for Sports, Dennis Samson Obua, has called upon all education stakeholders to support the ministry and government by talking to the striking teachers to resume teaching. Obua, who rallied school foundation bodies, management committees and parents to cascade the humble message of government, reaffirmed government's intention to enhance salaries but in a phased manner.
Since 14th June 2022, when UNATU announced a sit-down strike for all teachers of humanities in government schools, learning has since ceased in most schools. Although several engagements have been taking place, UNATU has declined to call off the industrial action until their interests are met. In other districts and schools, authorities have engaged with the teachers to resume partial learning, especially for candidate classes, as engagement for salary increment goes on.
I'm in fact affected also greatly because I also have children at school.
Let us consider the candidate class because it's very important. You will not say there was strike in a place and then questions should be said not in a tough manner.
Sports Minister Dennis Samson Obua urged school authorities to help government in persuading teachers to save the future of the innocent children.
We all have responsibilities. It's not only the responsibility of government. PTA, where are you? School management committees, where are you? Board of Governors, where are you? Let's all join hands, talk to teachers, persuade them, engage constructively, but with the view of having our learners continue with their learning.
Obua now wants all school stakeholders, including the foundation bodies, parents and management committees, to take concern and plead with the livid teachers.
Enhancement of salaries will be made in a phased manner, and we have started. We appeal to you, our brothers and sisters, the teachers of Uganda, that let's return to class and teach. Because the position of government, as I speak, is that we have accepted in principle to enhance salaries of public officers, but in phases. And to demonstrate that, we have kick-started in the new financial year with the scientists.
Yes. Teachers of humanities laid down their tools 2 weeks ago demanding for fairness and wage parity after government hiked salaries for their sons' counterparts.
Eventually the children must come home.
Veteran legislator Cecilia Timogwal is worried that forcing teachers back to class will demoralize them.
And this psychological crisis, if it is turned against our children, it's not good. Now, why should they beg for salaries? How can you say securing their future without education? You're wasting time. We don't want government of slogan. We want government of action and assurance. The only insurance I can give a child now is to make sure I improve the school, we have quality education, we have equipped the schools so that the children have peace of mind when they're in their schools, the teachers have peace of mind, and they are happy with their package when they are teaching our children.
Government, together with the leadership of UNATO, are expected to meet tomorrow over the unresolved impasses of pay rise disparity. Eddie Olua, UBC News.
The High Court has dismissed bail application by Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye and Samuel Mokaku's on grounds that the applicants failed to follow the court's procedures in filing the application before coming to this court. Now, Besigye and Mokaku, in running to High Court, they were challenging Magistrate Asman Mahomza's ruling when he denied them bail on grounds that there was no guarantee that they will not commit the same offences which led to their arrest.
People's Front for Transitional Leader retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye and his co-accused Samuel Walter Lubega Mokaku appeared at High Court Criminal Division in Kampala before Judge Tadewa Asimwe to proceed with their bail application. The accused persons were facing charges of incitement to violence through their legal team asked court to be granted bail by presenting 3 sureties each.
The grounds under which bail was denied was that the court would not guarantee that the accused persons would not commit the same offense for which they have been charged. That ground was not applicable. It was unfair.
Although their prayers were not objected to by the senior state attorney, Isaiah Wanamama, he raised a preliminary objection to court that the application was longly filed before court.
In other words, we are saying they should have come to this court with a ruling from a chief magistrate showing that they have been denied bail where there is a pending suit, and that would be when this matter would be ripe for this court.
Isaiah Wanamama asked court to dismiss the application, citing Article 75, subsection 2, that the applicants ought to have filed this application in a Chief Magistrate Court before coming to High Court. The prayers were objected to by the applicants' legal team. Judge Tadewa Asimwe, after listening to both sides' submissions, granted the prosecution prayers by declining to grant the applicants bail in the ruling read by the Deputy Registrar Didas Muhumuza.
The rules of procedure in the books of law are intentional to avoid unnecessary applications, stroke matters, and to avoid opening floodgates of unnecessary matters moving in the High Court. Therefore, the applicants should have filed this application before the Chief Magistrate before coming to the High Court. My understanding of Section 75 and 77 is that all options in the Magistrate's Court must be exhausted in non-capital court, in non-capital cases. This application is hereby dismissed. The applicants are free to file a fresh application.
The applicants' legal team were dissatisfied with the court ruling.
We are going to exhaust all the directives out there, stipulating them, including to go to the Chief Magistrate to ensure that we get justice from there.
This very court has handled the matter where Dr. Besigye was denied bail, and in the High Court they reversed the decision and said no, 30 million is too much. They could have said no, go to the Chief Magistrate, and only come here after you have gone through that process.
Those who had stood sureties to the applicants include Dr. Kizza Besigye's wife, Engineer Winnie Byanyima, Deputy Road Mayor Doreen Nyanjura, and Mugume Laurent, whereas Lulume Baiga MP for Boikwe South, Wokuli Margaret Madada, and Onekani Dennis Omero stood sureties to Samuel Lubega Mokaku. Retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye and Samuel Walter Lubega Mokaku are facing charges of inciting violence, which offences prosecution alleges that were committed around Kikubo Parish in Kampala district. The duo were demonstrating over the hiked prices of commodities in the country. Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
Members of Parliament on the HIV/AIDS Committee want government to enforce the operationalization of the HIV/AIDS Trust Fund so the country can have locally mobilized resources to run HIV/AIDS related activities. The committee, together with members from the Uganda AIDS Commission, they were visiting organizations that provide care and support for people living positively with HIV/AIDS.
The first place to be visited by the Parliamentary Committee on HIV/AIDS and the Uganda AIDS Commission was Reach Out Mbuya Parish, a faith-based organization that has since 2001 been providing care and support to the slum dwellers living positively with HIV.
I can say every facility offers ARVs, but Reach Out to the intervention is broader than the pill, than ARVs. So we go beyond the pill and look into what other aspects, because HIV is a multi-sectoral challenge. What other effects can affect the pill outcomes? That is the holistic outlook. So we take care of the infected and affected.
The next was Tasso Entebbe, and according to Uganda AIDS Commission, as a coordinating body for HIV/AIDS related services, the aim of the visit was to interact with service providers.
This was very helpful because we were able, first of all, to establish that the standards we set at the national level for service delivery are being implemented at community level, that the quality services that we advocate for are being received by clients who come to this institution.
Outstanding was the dwindling of external funding for HIV/AIDS, where the need to have domestically generated resources was emphasized.
The law was signed by the President. The regulation is to govern it were passed by Parliament. We are still having a little challenge with the Minister of Finance to clear us and say, yes, we need this. But as Parliament, we are putting our heads straight, and we want to ensure that this domestic funding is realized.
The challenge of HIV as a public health threat is still a big one, with the country still having 36,000 new infections annually.
Uganda Debt Network has called upon government to add more financing to child sub-program sectors that engage in child protection to enhance visibility of their works. This follows an increase in child-related cases like child abortion, child neglect and school dropouts.
Uganda's 2015 National Social Protection Policy identifies children as one of the vulnerable categories that need social protection intervention. Ishimimana Janice, the Monitoring and Evaluation Officer at Uganda Debt Network, says the case study carried out by Uganda Debt Network in the districts of Nabilatok, Moroto, Gulu and Amuru revealed that child actors like Family and Protection Unit at Police need more funding.
It should also put in place a sustainability plan. If these donors leave, what will happen to these projects? For instance, like in Noya where I was, some donors pulled out due to the fact that there was war. Some donors pulled out, so some of the projects all died. Okay, that includes ECD facilities, that includes schools, infrastructure that was put in place by donors. The fact that there is no sustainability plan for government to take over such projects, it becomes a problem.
Ishimimana says they appreciate the child policies put in place by government, but asked for more sensitization of the public on child policies.
We found out that child neglect at one point or the other dropped. The cases dropped. Child desertion dropped. Child abuse and torture dropped a little bit. Child kidnap dropped a little bit. Child stealing dropped. Child trafficking also dropped a little bit. But child, that is abortion, infanticides, rose.
Mulundu Tom, a research policy and planning officer at National Children Authority, requested government to increase on the social protection of the children.
Development model, we are not sure how it is going directly to assist or benefit the children, and that's why we want to go to the ground and also involve the parish chiefs who are in charge of this program to see how are children benefiting. Otherwise, this money might come into households but might not benefit the child.
Meanwhile, Mondo Chateka, the Assistant Commissioner Youth and Children Affairs at the Ministry of Gender, says the Child Protection Policy cited programs and activities that can be carried out to protect children.
The policy is integrated in the sense that it covers everything that we want to do with a child, including child protection, child participation, child survival, child growth, child education, and all the things that are important for a child to grow.
The National Integrated Child Policy aims at providing a coordinated national framework to prevent, respond and protect children from all forms of violence, exploitation, abuse and neglect. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, in this very newscast, after these messages, I'll be taking you to our business activities for this very day, 30th of June 2022. Do stay.
The 12th Annual Africa Students Education Fair is back. Come meet representatives of universities, colleges, and schools from USA, Canada, UK, Poland, Ireland, Spain, Germany, Switzerland, Japan, and India on Friday the 1st and Saturday the 2nd of July at the Sheraton Hotel, Kampala, Uganda from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For further inquiries, please contact Maria on 0702-628-446 or email inquiries@asefevents.com or visit www.asefevents.com. Organized by Africa Students Education Fairs Limited and sponsored by Kessie Tours and Travel, WR Education Consultants, and Loyalist College Canada.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
Are you a player in the tourism sector with a struggling business following the COVID pandemic? UDB, in partnership with European Union, is providing financial assistance to businesses operating in the tourism sector. You can access subsidized loan with grants, loan with a tenor of up to 5 years, free business advisory services, and free environmental impact assessment. Visit www.udbl.co.ug/call for applications to apply. Deadline for submission is 31st October 2022 at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 0414 355 509.
Yellow fever is a serious disease that is caused by the yellow fever virus from monkeys. The virus is transmitted to humans by a bite of an infected Aedes mosquito. The yellow in the name refers to the yellowing of the body, mainly the eyes, mouth, and the palms. Other signs and symptoms like rapid onset of fever, headache, general body weakness, loss of appetite, vomiting, usually appear in the first 3 to 6 days of being bitten by an infected mosquito. Remove potential mosquito breeding sites such as stagnant water and bushes around your home, and sleep under an insecticide-treated net every night to avoid being bitten by mosquitoes. Parents, take all children aged 9 months to the nearest health facility for vaccination. During the same visit, the child will also receive measles and rubella vaccine. Adults can as well get lifelong vaccination against yellow fever. Notify the health worker about any suspected yellow fever case at the nearest health facility. Please note, yellow fever is not transmitted from person to person by contact. For more information, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line.
This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from World Health Organization and UNICEF.
Na MTN Momo Nyabo echora kuri chonka.
Amazina ganje ni banyeta Kansime Clofas nimbela lugazika kwa Mambara ninye muhanguzi motoka ya MTN Momo Nyabo waka elizawa ninye nahangura motoka ninsima MTN Munonga ninsima abantu bonna abezumbiro mu kintu ekyo kubasa kufisyaho ebirabo bya MTN mwebale Munonga muhangare mubereho
waka na MTN Momo Nyabo echora kuri chonka tawe mitware ebiri no kweyongerayo aha mobile money yawe obase kuba mwabanya mu gishabaraye hangurire Toyota Succeed 3 na sente S-Travel twabahanguza barukike 12 buru wiki nituza kwaye motoka abiri nina na sente za mobile money ezirukurengo buhumbi bubiri.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602.
The Uganda Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, the Ministry of Local Government and PDM Coordination Secretariat, is undertaking the Parish Development Model PDM baseline data collection required to inform the implementation of the PDM. The PDM goal is to transform households still in subsistence to the money economy. The data will be collected from the households in the country by parish chiefs, supported by other qualified staff appointed by the respective local governments. All the information collected will be treated with utmost confidentiality. This is to appeal to the general public to cooperate with the data collectors by providing correct information. For more information, please contact the Office of the Public and Media Relations on 0755 342 128 or 0414 706 000 or 0783 026 780. This message is brought to you by Dr. Chris Mukiza, the Executive Director, Uganda Bureau of Statistics.
News tonight it is. Thank you so much for keeping us company. Now on to our business activities for the day. It's always a pleasure to have your company. We're seeing the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives revising plans to re-establish the cooperative bank that was closed in 1999, only waiting a liquidation report from Bank of Uganda. The State Minister for Cooperatives, Frederick Ngobi, reaffirms that meeting for all unions is underway to have discussions on the revival of their bank.
The Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives is determined the operation of the cooperative bank closed in 1999 under uncertain circumstances.
The problem was that the Bank of Uganda was the liquidator of the cooperative bank. They have a report. They know out of the outstanding loans by the close of the bank, how much have they recovered? What were the problems that led to the closure of the bank? Now we have called a meeting, a big meeting for all unions and all cooperators to ensure that we discuss the revival of our bank.
The compensation process for those unions that lost property during the war continues, and out of the 61 claimants, only 24 have so far received some money.
It is a comprehensive program. They will assess the documents and be able to prove whether you demand something or you don't demand.
The minister cautioned the people against the misuse of the newly rolled out parish development model funds that will be given to the cooperatives.
The moment you withdraw money, the bank will alert the people who put there that this money and this money and this money has In the same month, there is what we call the Parish Development Committee. Other than the Parish Development Circle, there is a Parish Development Committee which is responsible for monitoring this Parish Development Circle, which will sit monthly, and it is chaired by the parish, the LC2 chairperson. This LC2 chairperson will chair the meeting to see what has happened in this month. Now, he will organize a report. He will give it to the LC3 and the sub-county chief. The sub-county chief will send the report to the LC5 and also to the chief administrative officer and the other district office. So we shall all be monitoring.
There are over 37,000 registered cooperatives such as the Myoga Circles, fishing and transport cooperatives, and PDM Circles, among others. Marian Wumcha, UBC.
Now to sports briefly. Crown Beverages Limited, the makers of Pepsi and Sting Energy Drink, have unveiled a 2-year partnership worth 285 million Uganda shillings, that is to the Uganda Boxing Champions League. This partnership is in collaboration between the Uganda Boxing Federation, Top Boys Promotion and Sting Energy Drink, aimed at breathing new lease of life into Ugandan boxing and connecting with the local fans.
And I want to say that this is the direction the private sector should take.
Focus on growing the sport of boxing. We have different actors, coaches, referees, officials. All these guys have a role to play. And if you find you're left out, you're not in any of those categories, seek for those kind of mandates. If you love boxing.
Sting is partnering the first time on Champions League, and we have put in 285 million Uganda shillings for this partnership. We ask all the supporters of boxing to come and be watching these matches starting this Saturday, 2nd July at MTN Arena.
No organization would put its single shilling or dollar to an organization or institution that does not appear transparent or is misty. I want therefore to assure the country.
Now more of sports. National Council of Sports has hosted a capacity building training for heads and financial managers of national sports federations and associations. It was at the Cooper Chimney restaurant in Lugogo and was attended by almost 95% of Uganda's 51 sports federations and associations.
Effective 1st July 2021, Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning operationalized the National Council of Sport vote, this in line with national budgetary allocation. What followed was a 47 billion allocation starting next financial year, which puts sport in the high category in accounting terms. What this actually means is that recipients must respect all government funding guidelines or else risk its wrath. To avoid such a scenario, National Council of Sports organized a capacity building training for federation heads and financial managers.
The importance of this meeting, as already indicated, gives the emphasis that government believes will make us better, and that is empowerment, but also strengthening the gaps. I can say without contradiction that I have been on the loose end of defending a number of you before the Auditor General because of failure to provide satisfactory accountability and reporting every financial year ending of government.
National Council of Sports Board Chairperson Ambrose Tashebia calls for accountability to ensure sport reaches due budget allocation. To him, internal teamwork amongst federations is a must for sanity to prevail and shed sports in good light.
You see, here there's a federation crisis somewhere. Somewhere at the base there will be something related to finances. So by us streamlining financial management in the federation, we are reducing much of the conflict.
National Council of Sports General Secretary Dr. Bernard Ogwell urged the federations to align their programs to the National Development Plan, which for sport emphasizes youth development. He also allayed fears of federations in regards to allocation of funds for the next financial year, saying that final figures are expected soon. The workshop, attended by close to 95% of the 51 national federations, focused on an overview of financial management, importance of accountability, integrity and internal controls, and also addressed the importance of planning and budgeting.
That's all we had time for this particular newscast. It's always a pleasure to have your company when you choose UBC to inspire you. We've been live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue. My name is Sandra Kahunde, and on sign language, our very own and good at it, she's an expert. That is Elizabeth Nakakoni. Well, the team behind the scene wish a beautiful night. Keep it UBC, more better programming coming your way. Not forgetting today has been the 30th of June 2022. We wish you a blessed night and a great month ahead. That is July next month, starting tomorrow on the 1st. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much for your company.